Hey, what's going on, everybody? Ace here, and today we're going to be talking about the Crash Bandicoot n.sane Trilogy. Chill the fuck out. And this first impression is probably going to be a little bit shorter than the rest of them, seeing as how this game is old. All three of them are still old. It's a remaster, what do you expect? It'll probably be more about the graphical quality and as opposed to the story and gameplay, seeing as how it's practically the same. What the n.sane Trilogy does differently is it adds a couple new things, changes some things around, and that's about it. The first new thing is that you can actually play as Coco in some of the levels. In Crash Bandicoot 1, there's a new time travel thing that Coco comes through after you beat I want to say about 3-4 levels. You can go and nab her up and you can play the rest of the game as Coco. I think that's pretty cool. Kevin's online. Hi, Kevin. And it adds a couple more Easter eggs, like fake crashes in the game more often. He actually appears in certain levels, like in the first level. I'm not sure if it's actually after you beat him or if you find him the first time. I don't know, but he appears. It's been a while since I've actually played the first one. I think the new thing that differentiates itself from the old trilogy is that there's special stages in the first Crash Bandicoot, and I'm pretty sure if you died in one of those, you couldn't go back to it. This time they give you an infinite amount of retries. I think it's, like I said, it's been a while. Also, the graphics have been overhauled. Holy shit, this game looks beautiful. It's probably the best new thing about the game is how beautiful this game looks. It's just the colors of the whole thing, the models, the jungle itself. In the first, I'm playing through Crash 1 right now. I've only dabbled in Crash 2 and 3, right? But most of my playthrough has been in Crash 1, and everything about how this game looks is just fantastic. The backgrounds, while still simple, look actually quite refreshing and lush, and I want to live in it! Crash and Cortex and Brio and Coco and Tawna and everything about this game, just all the models look exceptional. There's enough squash and stretch for that cartoony feel, while also looking so like orgasmically amazing. Now, what pretty much stays the same is the gameplay and the difficulty. It's all there. It's really the same thing. If you played Crash 1, 2, and 3, you know how difficult those games can be, especially Crash 1. And if you're trying to 100% complete Crash 1, oh, fuck it. It's probably why I don't go back to Crash 1. The level design's pretty much the same. If you go back, you compare them to each other, it's 1-to-1, same deal. The voice acting is different. I'm not entirely sure who's voicing Crash, but I know Clancy Brown's not returning as Cortex. It's actually by Lex Lang, I believe it is. And he does a pretty good job in all the characters. I think that all the voice actors from the last few Crash games, like Mind Over Mutant, make their return. I believe that's all the same voice actors. The guy who voiced Grim in Billy and Mandy is voicing Uka Uka, and it's awesome. Then Jimmy Neutron's Coco. This is probably not really a good first impression. It's going to be, like I said, it's going to be really short, and if you haven't played Crash Bandicoot before, this is probably the best way that you're going to play it, unless you can find it cheap in a game store, which you probably can. There's also talk for DLC for this game, which is most likely going to be unused Naughty Dog levels, which is weird. I wonder how many levels are actually been unused, but I think a really cool DLC would be the addition of Crash Team Racing and maybe Crash Bash, but better. Make Crash Bash better. It's just kind of weird hearing DLC with Crash Bandicoot. It doesn't. No, I don't know how I feel about it. We'll just have to wait and see if that's actually true. Like I said, there's really not too much to talk about the n.sane Trilogy. It's just Crash 1 through 3, and if you played those games and enjoyed them, then you're obviously going to enjoy this game, especially with its fresh coat of paint and how beautiful this game looks. I'd probably recommend getting the game just for the looks, seeing as how, if you enjoyed it. Get it. But if you have never played Crash Bandicoot and want to see what all the hype is about and enjoy some archaic 3D platforming, get it too. I recommend this game, seeing as how Crash is making a return, and I honestly can't wait to see what happens in the future. Maybe they'll remaster those other ones. I hope not. Maybe Spiral will come back. I don't know. Since this game is probably going to sell 1 million copies, I can guarantee you that Spyro could possibly come back as long as Skylanders doesn't want him anymore. But that's all the time I'm going to have for this video. There's really, like I said, there's really not much to talk about. If you want to pick up the game, then pick up the game. So thank you all so much for watching. If you like this video, then by all means like the video. And if you want to subscribe for more, then why not hit that subscribe button and hit that little bell icon to be notified when I upload again. And if you're interested in any more videos on my channel, I did an Impressions of Arms, and you can watch this collaboration I did with TapChap on another Australian marsupial. It's a good video. I highly recommend you guys check it out. And with all that being said, I hope you all have a wonderful evening, and take care. Bye-bye!